Welcome to the City of Film Show, Episode 5. I'm Graham McMorrow. With me today is Kevin.
Hey.
This is from, obviously, cityfilms.com. You can see all of our past episodes on the website, but today it's Episode 5. We're here together, me and Kevin. Ryan will join us for the final finale, Episode 6, next month. But, yeah, let's get started, because, Kevin, we have a lot to do, don't you think?
Yes, we do.
I got nothing. No, we got things. We got contests to talk about. Why don't we talk about that? People right now are getting their pen and paper out, and they're going to write down the final keyword that you have for them. So take it away, Kevin.
Yes, they will. So if you haven't been listening to the previous episodes, shame on you. Go listen to them. So what we've been doing is on every episode, we've been giving a keyword, and you take that keyword and you email it to us. And on episode 6, which will happen next month, we're going to draw a name, and that person will be inked into a city strip, and it'll be amazing.
I was just going to say that's a pretty decent prize. Like, I'm biased because I think our show's the best, but even so, I mean, other podcasts, they're probably giving away, like gift certificates or posters or DVDs. We're going to draw you into a comic where you'll be forever.
Forever.
And I mean, if you're ugly, we'll make you look good, and if you're really good looking, then people will see that.
Yeah, and they'll be like, you know what? You're a good looking cartoon.
Yep, and they'll put you in other comics.
Yeah, like
a family circus.
Oh, that's the dream. Anyway, so the keyword for this episode is movies. Write it down and email us at mail@cityoffilms.com.
Very good. As we said, this is episode 5. There's one more to go. Episode 6, sometime in October. Me, Kevin, and Ryan. That's going to be it for a while, I think. At least till after the holidays. We'll figure out if we're going to bother coming back or not. We don't have any stats or ratings or anything, but I have a feeling, Kevin, that there's quite a lot of people listening to this show.
I agree. Quite a number indeed.
Yep. They just keep refreshing that City of Film Show page. Speaking of listeners and people, we have a few emails. I mean, in the last show, we were talking about DVD collections. Ryan and I were going over how we put ours together. Mark emailed us. We had also asked people to tell us if they've ever walked out of a movie. I told people I walked out of Flubber. Mark here says he walked out of Epic Movie and went into he walked out of Epic Movie and went into the movie Stomp the Yard instead. He says, "What was I thinking? I left both movies halfway through. I should have just went to school that day." Okay. Jamie writes in, she says, her DVD collection is so out of order, but she can still find anything by memory. So I guess it's an order just in my mind, really. But having people look through it, they always make the stupid comment like, I should do it alphabetical. My collection, my rules. Okay.
That's true.
I can't. That's true enough. We were talking before the show, off air, right? About like things we might have done acting-wise, because you and I went to film school together, as people may remember. And we did a few movies where we acted. I just thought we might talk about that for a moment. And the fun times that we had. Can you remember the best acting experience you ever had on the set of a movie?
Oh, I don't know. There's a Super 8 film called Our Time-Honored Traditions of Cannibalism, which was a lot of fun to do. And I played Little Jimmy, and I get my leg chopped off. And that was a lot of fun.
Did I see that one?
I think you did.
You guys just all start eating each other eventually, right? Or like the family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we kill and eat my sister, I think.
Is that on the internet somewhere? Can we post that? Is that on the?
It is, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna we'll put a link up on the website. You can watch that cannibalistic movie. This isn't so much as an acting gig, but it's a story about a show that I auditioned for, a TV show. It was called LMAO, Laughing My Ass Off. And it was going to be a sketch comedy show like Saturday Night Live, but with teenagers. It was going to be like produced, written, and starring teenagers. And I saw the calling, and I went, okay, whatever, nothing to lose. I'll go audition. And then regrettably, I got a call back. But before that, so you go in there, I fill out some form, and then I auditioned. And what the audition called for was that you come into the room, and there was a panel of people. Of course, they're all old, so they definitely understand where you're coming from. And for a show about teenagers, they really know what they're doing. But so they're all sitting there, and then you have to do like something in front of them to show that you could be on this show. You're by yourself, mind you, so you basically have to do a one-man show and impress them. So I remember my what I did, and I was thinking way out of the box. Like, I don't know why I thought like they would think this is funny and teenagers would think it's funny. What I did was I pretended that I was walking into an interview with Martin Scorsese, but the joke was that like I was telling him that I loved his movies, but every movie I referred to was a Steven Spielberg movie. So I was like, hey, like Marty, like I loved E.T. and blah blah blah, and like I got a few laughs from the panel, and they like I saw when I was doing this that they looked at each other and like one woman nodded, and it's like one of those moments in the movie like, yeah, he's got it. he'll do. Yeah. So that's over, and then right away they're like, yeah, that was good. Like, and then they could tell that obviously I was nervous as hell, so they're like, yeah, like have you done acting before, blah blah blah. And then she's like, you may not be cut out for like on screen, I think, but obviously like you have some talent, maybe you could be like a writer on the show. And then they all agreed, and they're like, will you come back tomorrow? I'm like, sure. And then I came back tomorrow to do more acting, which I don't know, like didn't they remember what they just told me? But anyways, this time it was in a group where we're doing like improv, and we're all just on the stage acting out some story randomly. Like if you got tagged, basically you had to continue the story. And then at the end of the day, I was on my way, and I never got a call back again, but the show never existed after that, so I think maybe they just didn't get who they wanted for the show, or I don't know what the story is, but LMAO has never made its way onto my television, so I don't know what came of it, but that's my story.
That's a good one. Wow. That sounds like fun anyway.
I could have been on TV, Kevin. CBC in Canada.
Yes! Did you ever act in any of the films at the film school?
Yeah, like I don't think you were there at the time, but I acted in a few projects for the younger groups that were there. There was this one douchey guy who, like, you could tell he just got his driver's license because every 5 minutes he's like, "Should we get the car? Should we put the car in the movie?" He just wanted to drive this thing on camera and be like, "That's my car." But he eventually did, and he got to like skid off the road, and he thought that was like the badass thing to do, and all the girls were like, "Whoa, how'd you do that?" Recently on the website, I posted the Fall and Holiday Movie Guide
2011.
That's right. And it covers all the movies coming out from September to the end of December, and it's pretty extensive. So make sure you read it and decide what you're going to go see in the theaters this fall and holiday season. I was going to ask you and Ryan what your top 5 movies were going to be, and Ryan has actually emailed us his selection.
All right, let's hear them.
I'll read his email. He says, Graham and Kevin, I know this was my episode off, but I figured I would take a moment to send you a quick note about the Fall and Holiday Movie Guide. Oh, he's something. To all of the citizens, if you haven't spent time reading and watching the trailers within the guide, get on it. You never know what will be the next beaver. You didn't watch the trailer, Ryan. You didn't watch it. For me, the movie I am most looking forward to seeing that appeared in the Fall and Holiday Movie Guide are the most movies he's looking forward to seeing. Top 5. I'm guessing they're not in order, but the first one is The Sitter. Did you watch a trailer for that?
I did.
It was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny.
The director, David Gordon Green, he made Pineapple Express, which was like, you didn't expect the action that was in that movie, so I expect The Sitter will probably follow suit and have some pretty good scenes of action in that movie. It's They haven't said it's a remake of Adventures in Babysitting, right? But it's clearly a take on that movie. Did you ever see that one?
I never did.
It's worth watching. But Jonah Hill stars in The Sitter, and it looks pretty funny, R-rated, obviously. I think I've posted the Red Band trailer on the guide, so you should check that out. And excuse my pronunciation here, but Coriolanus. Yeah, I got it. Have you watched the trailer, or do you know anything about that movie?
I've only watched the trailer. I don't know much about it.
Yeah, basically it's the Shakespeare adaptation, but directed by Ralph Fiennes, and he stars in it. So basically, yeah, it's a retelling of the Shakespeare story of the same name. So if you're into Shakespeare, that might be the movie for you. And next film, third on the list, Ryan chooses Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. David Fincher, Daniel Craig stars. Kevin, thoughts?
I am really looking forward to it. That's on my list as well. I've never read the books, and I haven't seen the original trilogy, but I think I'll watch anything that David Fincher does.
I echo that statement, Kevin. But because that movie is on my list, I didn't bother reading the books, never saw the original Swedish films, so I'm very much looking forward to this. A very adult, R-rated film by David Fincher, which, when you go see it, like, there's not going to be kids crying in the aisle, but
well, you never know.
Yeah, so some mom might just take their 5-year-old in there, who knows. Next movie on this list, also on my list, Sherlock Holmes 2. Yeah, Guy Ritchie returns, obviously. Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law star. And, yeah, it's supposed to be bigger, better, and probably going to be funnier. I hope for the best, because I really loved the first one. Probably one of my favorites for the last few years, but did you see the original? Did you like it? And are you going to see the sequel?
I did see the original. I liked it, and I am going to see the sequel.
Yay!
Everybody's happy.
If I had a top 6, this one might have made it, but I had to edge it out for something else. But Ryan's final movie here, A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas. I enjoyed the first 2 movies a lot. They were just funny, and like for stoner comedies, I don't know, it's going to be weird to say, but they're actually very smart, because they don't take themselves too seriously. They make fun of the fact that it's a stoner comedy, so they can get away with a lot more than other movies that might take themselves too seriously, like Euro Trip or something. But yeah, and the fact that they're mocking that they're 3D in the trailer also lets them get away with the fact that they're going to be in 3D for some reason, but it should be entertaining. So yeah, should we go to your list, Kevin?
All right, here we go.
Your top 5, or I don't know if it's top 5, but it's 5 from the Fall and Holiday Movie Guide. Go.
Okay, the first movie on my list is Drive, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. I know nothing about this movie, but I thought the trailer looked like a lot of fun. So I'm going to watch it based on that. It stars Ryan Gosling, who seems to be in a lot this holiday season.
I've heard nothing but, I'd say nothing but good things, but there's nothing but great things about this movie, so I'm also looking forward to it. It comes out, I think, next week.
September 16th.
So yeah, we're going to have to see it.
Yeah.
It looks like good. Who's it? Albert Brooks is in it, which is a rare treat.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I always enjoy him.
Yeah. Okay.
And the second movie is Take Shelter, directed by Jeff Nichols. It stars Michael Shannon, and I'm becoming I'm getting to be a really big fan of his. You can see him on HBO's Boardwalk Empire, and he's great in that. And he'll also be in Zack Snyder's Superman film Man of Steel as General Zod. I think that comes out in 2013.
Again, Michael Shannon, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him carry a film. I don't think he's done that yet, to my knowledge.
Your next one?
My next film is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, directed by Thomas Elverson, and he directed Let the Right One In a few years ago, which has been on my favorite film list ever since then. I loved it. Stars Gary Oldman, Colin Firth, it's a great cast, and
it's a very British cast.
Very British cast. It reminds me of I think I might have been the only one who watched it. AMC had a series called Rubicon. Which,
yeah, you were the only one.
I really loved it, and just watching the trailer, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy seemed like it was a similar kind of tone. Moving on.
Yep.
The next film on my list is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which we've already talked about, and I think it's on your list too.
It is.
And the final movie on my list is Tintin. I've been a fan of Tintin. You don't like Tintin, Graham?
No, it's on my list.
Is it? Okay, all right.
Our list. All of our lists are kind of similar. Yeah, so I don't have any. There's only one movie on my list that's not on you or Ryan's. But go on, Tintin. Or Tan.
I've been a fan of Tintin. I've been a fan of Tintin since I was like 5 years old, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I've never really been a huge fan of motion capture animation, but I've enjoyed what I've seen so far, and there's definitely a lot of talent behind it, and I have faith in them. So I think I hope it's going to do great, so we can see Peter Jackson's Tintin sequel.
Yeah, they keep trying to make mocap happen, so I think this is the one that could actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much different on my list. I would say, yeah, Take Shelter. We already talked about Michael Shannon, finally. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Brian and you had the same title, so we're all looking forward to that movie. David Fincher. Adventures of Tintin, The Secret of the Unicorn, you had just mentioned. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. Again, yeah, the first one of the best, I thought, in a long time, so I'm looking forward to the sequel. The one movie that was not on your list or Ryan's list, and I'm going to stick my nose up while I say it, J. Edgar. Clint Eastwood directs, Leonardo DiCaprio stars. I'm just curious to see what those two come up with, because it's their first time working together. Do you think Martin Scorsese's jealous?
Probably a little bit. He's sitting away, pining away, looking at his photo of Leo.
I couldn't help but notice that his movie, Hugo, wasn't on any of our lists. So
it wasn't.
We'll see what happens this holiday season. Okay, well, we're closing things down here. We should just mention the next episode, episode 6. Kevin, Ryan, Graham. It's the finale. We are going to have kind of a special feature. It's going to be called, I couldn't have a better name for it. It's based off a British TV show of the same name, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? And yes, it's also a movie. But so this is what I'm asking Kevin and Ryan and myself to come up with, and you, the listener, you get to email us your response. So Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? You choose 5 guests that you can invite. They could be living, dead, real, or fictional. So you have to decide who would you invite to dinner that you want to have a conversation with for an hour and a half. And they could be anybody you want, really. Kevin, what do you think about that? Do you already have, give us one person.
Helen Keller.
And show.